Hi everyone, this is Parsa, and today I'm going to show you how to create contracts and get them signed within your workflow in Confluence. So no need for external tools to get the contracts created, sent or signed. Everything will be done within the confined space of your Confluence, and you can use your pages as templates for those contracts. Now we're going to use contract signatures for Confluence, and there are two general approaches, two methods, if you will, to creating and signing those contracts. Approach one is using a static contracts. What I mean by static is that everything is hard-coded into the body, into the description of that contract. So that this agreement is made on this state. Now, we know that this state is going to change constantly, right? Because either you need to manually change that, or it needs to somehow dynamically change. In this scenario, you would need to change it manually. The address of this, email address of this user is also hard-coded, right? And there is no way to place the signatures. I want the signature to maybe be placed here rather than at the bottom, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to start creation for a static option. We have default settings here for the signers. For this demo, I'm going to parameterize each user just for you to see how it works. So as you can see, the app in the configuration of that contract doesn't know who's person A, doesn't know what's the email address of person A. All it knows is I'm adding new users. Now, if I click here, I can parameterize each signer. So I can change the access method to URL. I'll explain why. And I can remove the OTP method. I'm going to remove that because for the sake of the demo, there is just an extra step we don't want to take. In addition, I'm going to confirm that this user is going to receive a completed contract. And they can sign the contract by drawing, uploading an image, or using our renderer to render a signature. For person B, I'm going to say this is the just CEO and is using a different email address. Again, I'm going to parameterize that. I'm going to remove the OTP. I'm going to use the URL access method. Why? The URL access method is perfect for contracts that are signed on the spot, right? And it's also perfect for a demo because it won't go through an email. I won't have to go through additional steps just to show you the contract creation process. Cool thing about this feature is about URL signing method is that you can switch between those signers easily from here, right? Now, as you can see, some of this information is not really accurate. We are in 2025 already when recording this video, and those informations are not updated because this is, again, a hard-coded contract, and the signatures are actually placed at the bottom because the tool simply doesn't know where else to put them, right? So we're going to make a signature, sign, and I'm going to switch to the second user, or person B. I'm going to render a signature. And that's that. The contract is signed, and if you click on the contract signatures tab or button, you can see the contract with the active state that is ready to be downloaded as a PDF or HTML. If you open it, you will get the preview again. You can see the contract signed. Now let's move to method 2 and see what advantages we can have there. Method 2 makes use of our macros, and we have in total 5 macros, but we are going to focus on roughly 3 of them for the sake of this demo that are going to make the contract a little bit more dynamic, right? So let's see what macros there are. So there is contract metadata. This is the contract metadata macro placed here. This is going to automatically populate some of those fields because the tool is aware of those information. So these are things that do not need to be, let's say, populated by you or provided by you beforehand. So things like time zone, creator's name, or IP address, or the URL page, or the creation date, completion date, and so on. In this scenario, the argument is made on, so we're going to place a creation date. Then we are going to talk about the signer macro. The signer macro is saying, hey, place here the legal name of person B. How does the app know about legal name of person B? It's been provided on the contract creation form, or it's been provided to the signature macro, which we're going to have a look at right in a moment. It can place the email address of that user, or their phone number, or their IP address, signing date, or the date and time, the different format of the signing, right? Now, this is the macro that you'll be using most of the time, which is the signature macro. And the signature macro is a special one because it requires the users to interact, the signers, if you will, to interact with the contract, right? They'll be required to add their signature or add a date, place their initials, mark a checkbox, or add a text, right? Place here your, write here that you approve, I approve of this or that, whatever the case may be, right? And here, I can go ahead and place, person A is this guy, and his email is this. Now that is going to communicate with our other macro, and it's going to tell the signer macro, hey, when you are putting the legal name of person A, you're going to use parser Shiva, right? I'm going to change the person B's signature macro to, let's say, Jess, just for the sake of changing some of this information. So we're going to have a different set of information provided. And that's that. Now, we could do that, or I could actually show you something cooler. Let's remove that. Now, what do you think is going to happen when I create the contract? Let's see. Let's create a new contract. So the tool is aware of person A because I just provided the name and the email address. It knows what to populate for person A, but person B is still unknown. So you need to manually then add person B. I'm going to use the same email address here. It's not really... I'm going to use the URL again, and I'm going to remove the OTP. Remember, you can always do this from here. I'm doing it only for the sake of demonstration. If you have multiple signers, just use the default one. Now, you can see that without updating anything, without updating that date, this date is actually accurate. We are on the 17th of January while I'm filming this video, 2025. And this is just because the tool is aware of the date, right? This is the metadata macro in use. Here you can see that the legal name of the, I believe this is person B, is populated, and their email address is also dynamically populated into the contract. On top of everything, you can see the signature macro at work. You can see that it requires me to interact with it. It requires me to place my signature on a specific position on the contract. And when I sign this, I can still change because I'm using the URL method. Now, this is a much better approach if you have fields that require to be updated, if you want the document to be more dynamic in a sense. And if you have a look, you can see that the signature is placed not at the bottom, they are not horizontally placed, all this information are updated. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope to see you on the next video. Have a great one.